Hello there, welcome back to the Golden Horde and EU4. Last time we declared war in Vijayanagar. Again, we're hunting the legitimacy. We also had a death, of course, because it's not a good party if everybody lives, apparently. But the goal is still the same. We are going to be attempting to get ourselves in a decent position for the conquest here, and of course getting legitimacy up to the required levels. So for the time being, we'll just focus on sieging. I'll have this army more as a backup army that can, as well, swoop in and save our own armies when they get most likely thoroughly beaten. Vijayanagar is suffering a little bit of attrition here, which is kind of ridiculous, but not much I can do about that. They do have 16 land tech, and their units could potentially be a danger to me, potentially. Probably not, but who knows. Luckily enough, here I have the Xi army that is actually going to help me out here with the rebels, and I think actually if I leave everything in their hands, they would be able to pull off a victory here. Now I'm a little bit unsure if we can. Yeah, that is going to be a issue. Did Lithuania just break free? Tiny Lithuania. Too tiny Lithuania. I was hoping they still had the cause, but I guess they wouldn't have, so my bad. If they had the course, then everything would have been dandy. Now this is going to be one hell of an interesting fight. Luckily enough, Xi here actually brings a general to the battle, and I think Xi coming to back me up here should be enough to win this. Hopefully. Did I overestimate my own army? Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Anyways, we're just going to slowly but surely continue sieging here, moving forward. I think I'm actually going to leave this side to Changtai. I'm pretty sure they can do just fine on their own. We did win this first battle, a whole 7% of war score, and they lost 30,000. We lost about 16, which is kind of what I would expect considering they attacked us in the mountains. So we'll see how this goes. It could be great, but it could also be horrible. And if you consider the future warfare, kinda. But I think this could definitely allow us to get some earlier wins here, or basically put some extra pressure on them. You can see my vassals are really helpful in terms of this war. They're basically sieged more than I have, so I'm kind of feeling like I'm behind. But yeah, I'm basically going to, as I said, leave it in their hands, and I think they can win this for me without too much fuss. We already have a 60,000 vassal army here from Xi and Shun, which are laying waste to the rebels, more or less. So that is really good. But again, a little bit unsure how this will go. We'll play defensively, and the goal, of course, will be to take. Oh, of course, it's just so for the next 5 years, I'll get minus 20% to my aggressive expansion, which is wonderful, scary wonderful, actually. Now, I can almost take this amount of land. I can take this amount of land, which is what? 6 provinces. It's a decent amount. But I think I'm going to take these two, Costa, potentially even another one down here, just for the reason of starting coring processes. And I'll probably go for the cheaper or lower base tax ones like Bastar, let's say Muscovy potentially. We'll just have to see. Basically, the higher base tax provinces I want to have a claim on to make them a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I'll be sitting back, and Chagatai will lose their army, which is bad. But just a couple of losses here won't make too much of a difference in the end. So I'll keep on with what I'm doing, and we'll see how this war ends. We've taken long clearings. We were really reaching towards the maximum admin tech. Had about 20 points to go on. So with that, we get an increase in production efficiency by 10%, and we also could take the Gallias here. But again, diplomatic power at this stage is probably going to be used to either annex vassals. I'm really tempted to actually annex Xi here due to the fact that they are still Chinese tech, I believe. Yeah, they have the technology group Chinese. Shunan actually also has that, so I might as well go for the annexation of both in that case. They basically have both played their role, and they play their roles pretty damn well. So annexing them is probably going to happen. I think I'll go for Xi first, then Shun. Xi is cheaper. And of course, if I end up westernizing, it's going to be one hell of a problem with rebels. But I think we just have to live with that problem if I end up doing that. The reason why I kind of want to have vassals and keep them around is because I plan for them to help me out during the westernization. I have no idea if they will actually rebel during the westernization. They could. It's definitely a possibility, but I kind of doubt that, and that is kind of why I'm trying to play this a little bit safe, just in case. But the Ottomans might really become the biggest issue if I end up westernizing with everything as it is. But as you can see here, the war is more or less already over. The Vijayanagar is more or less just being slaughtered here, and as such we can probably be pretty damn happy about this. I'm a little bit unsure what I want to do on the western side. I might just go for taking provinces there, or basically try and go down the coast for the time being, and taking my claims here, which are these 4 provinces, and basically getting a better grip. Of course, France is kind of a fearful place of getting closer to, but I think I can live with that as things are currently standing. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what the end result is. But at least, as you can see here, we are winning battles. My vassals are doing well with sieging, and I basically just have to wait here, and they'll win it for me. So I don't have any worries in terms of when it comes to the result of this war. It's done. It's a done deal already. So as you might imagine, I think I can get a 100% war score deal right now. Let's just see here what I actually end up with if I cut it down a little bit. So Nepal is actually worth 10%. Let's see, I wanted to take now 6 provinces. What's the cheapest they got? 9. Is that one really expensive? 9. Bastar is something I want to call myself, and this actually gives me a lot of provinces. Low aggressive expansion for the whole deal, and a lot of overextension however. But I think we'll go for this. It's basically a lot of provinces which should give a fair amount of power protection, which is kind of important in this scenario. And I think this is a deal that I can live with in the long run, not just right now. So this one is supposed to be called by myself, this one is going to be called by myself, this one is also myself, and of course these 3 over here is also myself rather than any vassal. The problem of course now is that I just gave Portugal, Castile and that yolk, so to speak, free cast a spell eye on me, which is not the most beneficial thing I've ever done for myself, truth be told. And also of course we do have the issue now of 132% overextension, which can be lowered but not reasonably or fast enough. What we're basically going to do is get rid of Gouda, which is 28%, but even so we still have a little bit over 100% here, which of course is a horrible scenario, but at least we got some prior protection up and running. And unfortunately I can't change my rival until 92, which is going to be a little bit of an issue, because I wouldn't definitely like to attack the Timurids. The truce is running out in 2 years or so, but there are limits to what we can do. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. So we'll have a little bit of an issue here with overextension for a little while. Kind of a bad gamble here, but 2 years worst case scenario. I could actually lose the Timurids from this. I'm just realizing. I'm kind of tempted to just sell Bastar back to try and limit the issue. Potentially just sell this back to Shan. But I think we're just going to gamble here. I don't want to give back any land, which in theory could be a horrible decision. We'll just have to see as time goes. I'm also a little bit unsure if I want to keep Chagatai around, because right now they're not actually helping a lot. The Oirat lands aren't that valuable that it would give me a good reason to actually sit here and wait. So I think what we're going to use some diplomatic power on right now is the next Chagatai. They have 35 base tax, so it's not going to take me too long, and it's not going to cost me too much diplomatic power, but it's a nice amount of land. It's going to make me big Golden Horde again, which is good, and I'm a little bit unsure how I want to handle the other things here. In this event I might go for creating another vassal in this area here, or even here. I'm a little bit unsure, so I might end up releasing something in this region. We'll have to see. There's there's a lot of possibilities here. But I think I'm still going to wait until Changtai is annexed before I make any decisions. So for now we'll wait and see if I get any negative repercussions from going over my overextension limit. The first 3 provinces have been called, and with that we basically now have a, well, fairly secure position. The problem before was basically that I was in a, well, in danger of being put in a very bad position, but right now it's okay. We got some rebel events, plus 15% rebel activity in Moscow, among other things, but it seems like it wasn't too big of an issue since it's solved already. Our legitimacy is slowly but surely getting there, 83. Hopefully now we'll be able to make it work. I'm really tempted to go on Timurids here. I kind of don't want them to take too many pieces off of my beloved target, more or less, and I can also now hand over the Bengal Delta to Kuch once I get someone back home. So we're going to just send this guy back home. We're going to hand over the Bengal Delta, and then we can go on another conquering spree, this time in Timurid lands. So we're going to sell them this province for nothing. And there we go. Kuch has accepted the Bengal Delta, and as I said, with that the overextension is gone, all of it. So I think, as I said, the goal now will be another war against the Timurids. This case will be most likely going for something simple. Also, of course, if the Karakonlu here actually join in, we're going to take their land, sell it over to the Ottomans. The only thing that's really kind of awkward is that they actually have Bahrain here, that tiny island. So we'll have to consider what we'll do with that. It's a awkward setup, to be sure. And also, if we attack Yemen, it seems like I'll call most of these provinces myself. They are really cheap. So I think I'll start fabricating claims along the line here. Basra will probably be handed over to the Ottomans, but the rest will probably be called by myself if we take them out, which is looking like a real possibility. So the Timurids are next on the list, as soon as the truce runs out, which should be really soon. 3rd of December. So we'll prepare for a battle then. Should be a really simple one. Well, the crab baskets has appeared. Castile has actually colonized Taiwan, which is awkward and dangerous. Should probably have paid attention. I can't, unfortunately, not recall him, which is a little bit bad. But this means that, region-wise, I need to get my hands on that one, and I need to get my hands on it quick. And the ways to do that is probably by actually declaring a casus belli-less war right now. France, Portugal and Venice could be a really problem. Europe could actually go up in flames here. But basically the plan is to sweep in with a ship, or a couple of ships, take the island for myself, and then just basically try and wait it out to get a white peace. Now the big question is, should I try and get the white peace, or should I wait, reform the government, and then try to get the white peace by just taking that island? I'm a little bit unsure. Let's face it, if I westernize, I'm probably going to be able to beat them. Let's face it, Castile, tiny Castile, they do have some land in New World, but still, they're not a power on the world scale if we check military-wise. They would have a better fleet than me, but gambling on their fleet being in Asia is kind of a silly idea, at least in my mind. For crying out loud, France is out of manpower. I have 4 times the amount of manpower that Castile has troops. They're not really scary, especially if you can add these two together and boom, they're going to get trashed. I actually have troops half my force limit. I have a feeling I need to fix that. But anyways, this basically shuts down my idea of trying to get the colonization ideas. They won't help me right now. Anything else that I could take that potentially could help me could be go for defensive to boost my armies a little bit, but I think would rather go offensive and try and take them down quickly. That could be a way of doing things. Potentially go diplomatic, get some more vassals, for instance. I'm a little bit unsure here. We could also go innovative to help technology, the inflation, war exhaustion, etc. Could be helpful, especially considering that advisor cost is our highest is what we pay the most money in. But if I go anything, I think I should go administrative and then adaptability, due to the fact that we are going to be taking a lot of land, and that core production or core cost could be really helpful. But other than that, I don't see any benefit from this other than the civil service. I need to think long and hard on what we want to do with that idea set, I think. I also think we are going to go for straight out annexation of Xi afterwards, Chagatai then Xi. Then can fabricate a claim on Castile for just that island, build a navy, etc. here, and basically plant 40 stack Muslim troops on the island. That should be enough to win. And let's face it, anything that actually enters my lands is going to be toast. I can raise another 100k men. So if you consider that, it's not I'm not in a horribly bad position to take them on later. So I think we go along with the original plan here, which is to take out these guys first, and should be really simple. So we're going to fight a war here against the Timurids. Should be, as I said, a really simple one. So I'll get back to you once it's actually over. As you can see, the Timurids themselves have really few troops. I have more troops than Karakonlu in the area, so I'll just trample them quick, and then we'll see what we'll do. Wow, I just realized I'm one hell of an idiot. I need legitimacy, right? Why did I integrate Chagatai? God damn it. Basically, the reason why I'm an idiot, for those who didn't realize, integrating something takes, well, legitimacy. Or it costs legitimacy. Guess I'll take the inflation in this case. And in my situation, I didn't actually consider the fact that if I annexed the vassal, I would have to pay said inflation, and it ended up biting me in the arse. And when I say biting me in the arse, I mean really biting me in the arse here. I lost 10 legitimacy, which is basically what, 5-6 years worth. And to make matters worse, my Khan will probably die in the meantime. I need to find a vassal or an ally to, well, Vijayanagar, which have none, and fight them, but odds of that happening aren't exactly really high. So again, I'm not in a good position here. I would like to be in a better one. Anyone have a better position to sell me? Feel free to call me. But yeah, it's a silly stupid move, and that definitely means that I cannot go after Castile. I will not take that chance. I'll wait until I get 90. I'll reform the government, then I'll annex Xi or integrate. I can probably start the integration now, but it's kind of a risky move no matter. So we are going to wait. We're going to integrate Xi. We're going to fabricate a claim on the island. We're going to build one hell of a navy, and we're going to kick their ass. And also we'll probably kill off the Oirs in the meantime. Go straight out annex. I'll probably also go for another war against Muscovy, tribal conquest. And in this case, we're basically just going to try and conquer as much land as possible in the east as rapidly as possible. So I think in this case, I can justify taking the constitution, which gives me another group of ideas and a constitutional monarchy. And it also gives me, and we're going to go with admin ideas here, we're just going to go for taking adaptability, and we're going to stop there. Reason why? Really simple. We're going to be coring a lot of land ourselves. We're going to be taking a lot of land ourselves, so I think that is the best way of doing things. Potentially I could go for diplomatic ideas, something along the lines here, but I don't see how that would help me too much. Of course, the extra relation could be useful, but trade could also be useful per se. But right now, I really have neglected trade. We have 5 ducats a month on that. I get 3 times as much from my vassals. So definitely trade. If I want to focus on this, I think I need to take Constantinople and use that to my advantage, which requires me to have a fleet here, and most likely here. So I might consider that. I might also consider starting up trade in this area, which would probably be more beneficial, all things considered. Let's see here. Could potentially play something down here. Here, for instance, we have 48% of the trade power. So yeah, definitely move that. Move that guy. It's probably going to be a lot more money to make by basically placing him down in Ceylon even. But this has been a very long episode, so I'm just going to finish up the war with Timurids now quickly, and we'll see what we do next time when I'm a little bit smarter, hopefully. Vijayanagar just decided to join the coalition, which is kind of bad for my future plans of destroying Muscovy on its own, but I guess that's something I can live with. Mehmed was forcefully released in this war from, well, Timurids, which is not bad per se, it's not good either. And we'll probably go for the annexation of Karakonlu. If I can, which I can't because we need to re-siege this one, so I'm just going to do that and then we'll see how we stand. And there we go, the war against, well, the Timurids is over. Karakonlu on their side is going to be a little bit more of a annoying thing to take, because due to them sieging, I can't really take too much land. So what I think we're going to do is do something simple by taking basically just this one. I'm pretty sure that the Yemen will sack the last province that Karakonlu has, so that should be a, a fairly safe bet. And for me, we're going to be taking basically as many provinces as we can in this war, of course with the goal of coring them ourselves, for actually a perfect 100% overextension. So I think we're going for that. Again, this is going to be kind of expensive, I should probably have waited, but I'll be thinking a little bit more in depth on what idea group I actually want to choose before next time. Mostly due to the fact that it's going to be annoying no matter what I do here. Punjab is actually incredibly expensive. How does a increased coring cost? Well, that sucks. Let's see here. What do I want to do then? How did I end up in a 120%? Oh, I haven't sold that one yet. There we go. In this case, I think we're going to call the cheap stuff here first, and Punjab actually goes into that cheap stuff. I'm a little bit unsure what I want to do with Marva. I could potentially release Marva here as a vassal in the area, but considering what I already have conquered, I don't see the... Well, it actually does have benefits in the fact that I don't have to core that. We get the we're going to do last thing I'm going to do is release Marva as my now new 5th vassal, and again, it should be useful. Oligarchic Republic, and that's an interesting one, but hopefully I can use them now as more or less a, well, eat everything around it, but I'm still going to core everything else. And Marva is basically now going to be used to eat the southern parts, hopefully. It's kind of a weird scenario, but we'll solve it as we go. But the war is over, I'm happy, and we'll continue next time. Sorry for the extra long episode. I'll see you next time. Feel free to comment, comments, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and as I said, I'll see you next time. Bye.